Hi, chat. Wait, where's my camera? Hey, chat. We are here. We are streaming. Well, I'm also, I'm also partly trying to attempt. Oh, I've got a white background on this website. Gross. I'm also attempting to fix a drawing tablet that I purchased that was broken because it was so cheap. I was like, the problem seems like maybe I could fix that. But apparently I've put that upon myself and a new cable arrived. So I'm testing that on my laptop. So far the problem has not fixed. But it definitely seems like a problem that shouldn't mean the tablet's completely busted. But I'm kind of sad that plugging in a brand new cable did not change the situation. But that doesn't mean I could potentially return the cable and use the old one if I can fix the issue. But I still don't quite know what the issue is. And it seems to be a thing that wouldn't happen if the it just wouldn't work if it was completely busted, you know? Like if it's powering on and stuff, and I can tell that it's working, and I even got my PC to see it briefly. Hey, dear darling. Thank you for the redeem of the Dirt Wolf. Well, I don't know. I'm like partly clogged up with that. Trying to. Also, this laptop is garbage because it runs on Windows 11, and Windows 11 might be the worst version of Windows I've ever used. I used 8, and I liked it. Windows 11 is garbage. So yeah, as for what we're doing today, honestly, I might just play some World of Warcraft. My brain has been completely absorbed by WoW in a way I haven't for many, many years, I think. Like I get like it around expansion launches and stuff, but this isn't an expansion launch. There are a lot of announcements this week, but yeah, I haven't really played anything else. So we might just chill in that, if people don't mind. And just chit chat and hang out. It's also cooler for the first time. Like, I was almost tempted to put a hoodie on earlier because it was quite chilly in here. Because when the sun's not like 26 outside, the mirroring on my windows actually makes it quite cool in here. But yeah, that's the plan anyway. I'm so curious why this tablet is not working. I appreciate that I bought it for £24. And kind of don't really expect like too much if it doesn't work. But when you plug it in and the power light is flashing two very distinct colors and not, just not coming on, etc. And like I said, I did manage to get the PC to see it very briefly. So I'm so curious what the issue is that I kind of want to fix it on principle, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to manage it. Also, I didn't intend on like fixing it on stream. I just happened to get the cable as I was waiting for stream to go live. I think the port's fine. All looks clean, even if focusing in that tiny little port just hurt my eyes. I don't know. I don't know what it is, chat. It's a mystery. And also, the laptop does not load stuff. I was thinking that I could quickly see if this was going to work during the 10 minutes of stream starting time. I barely even got the driver to download. New text sucks. They prioritize something other than actually making stuff work. Also, the NVIDIA driver has said preparing to install for like 5 minutes. Garbage. Whatever. Right. Yeah, so how has chat been? I also, apologies for no stream last Thursday. I apparently just can't tell dates or times or anything. I knew there was a work thing coming up. I also knew it was on Thursday because I thought it was stupid that it was on Thursday because for obvious reasons, like it's not, people aren't off the next day. So it makes staying up late for a lot of people or whatever being annoying. But for some reason, I just forgot that obviously meant I couldn't stream until like, I think it was about 4 a.m. Thursday morning. Just I was falling asleep. I was like, oh no. And I was like, well, I can't ping the server now. So I will have to remember to do it tomorrow, and that's why there was a message then. What am I looking up? What is that? Man, it comes up with lots of random things, but also I'm assuming the video game is what you were after. Did this just get announced or something? It's very cute, though. Ballet inspired. Slavic mythology. That's cool. That's cool. I don't know why I didn't put it on stream, but I did not. Yeah, I'll put it on the... Oh, there's a playtest. I'll put it on the wish list at the very least. I logged in here. To be fair, I got access to I got access to like an anime girl like Overwatch game, like or Rivals game. I don't remember applying for access on Steam for that. Like at all. So I don't know when that happened. No idea. I don't know if it was like during the demos and I was like, oh, this is access. And I just clicked it without even absorbing the game. Absolutely zero interest in trying it, really. I don't even, it just emailed me and was like, hey, you've got access. I was like, what? What's that? Oh my God, it's still preparing to install. That's actually not correct. What makes it worse is when it's not working and it isn't installing. The little slideshow, one of the slides is just NVIDIA AI, and it annoys me endlessly. So we're going to say about Magic Electric Box, who's going to deliver power to our computers and stop them from flickering like they're a really old rave. I mean, thankfully I understood who you meant. So if you just got like really inconsistent power, as in like there is a very minor drop, I guess, very consistently, is more accurate. How bizarre. Have you determined that assuming with you getting a box, you figured out what it is? Or is it literally just your entire electrical supply in your house has a very slight drop? Or is it the bit coming to your, like the room with your PCs in it? Please just start installing so I don't have to look at you anymore. Yeah, basically that's wiring from the 60s and makes it significantly awful for spikes or drops. It causes monitors to turn off and sometimes my computer. Wow. I've lived in incredibly old houses, and houses of various age, but I've never had that one. You know, I've had the usual, like, certain plugs just don't work. You've had the classic, like, light switches turn on lights or turn something on somewhere, maybe, but you don't know where. That kind of stuff. And obviously the one that everyone knows who's ever used a computer over the last 15 years when Wi-Fi was crap and you used the power line adapters and then you discovered that, like, the two sections of the house aren't even connected, or the wiring is so long and windy that by the time it even gets to your PC, the signal's terrible, and all the rest of it, or there's some interference somewhere. Oh, hey, it's actually installing it now. I only had to cancel out and then reinstall. I also like that with the new 2B, all you can see is legs. Like, before you could kind of see her, like, dress, probably like here, but instead you just got legs, which is kind of wonderful. What we need is just to there we go. Now they're like fully in the gap that's left. It's great. I like it. I also realized that I have put them away now. Yeah, you've got Fern and Ren are here, but you can't see them. Deku is below. So I think everything from Japan now has a place. Which only took like 2 months. But yeah, turning monitors off. I still have, and I don't know why it happened. I don't know which device update or whatever. I feel like it's NVIDIA, because I feel like it's my graphics card doing it. Because it specifically started happening when I updated my graphics driver when I came back from Japan. But it might be the most frustrating, yet not really a problem because nothing's broken thing that happens. Because the whole thing with my stream setup is that one of my PC monitors, my third monitor, is connected to both the stream PC and my regular PC. When I turn on the stream PC, Windows has a memory of some kind that's like, oh right, that PC now means that I turn these two off so the other one can be on, which is cool. It means I don't need to press anything. It just swaps over the screen sources and my main PC becomes a 2-PC screen, a 2-screen PC, and then the extra screen goes to the other PC. Great, fantastic. For some fucking reason, now, if the input into my PC changes by turning on the other PC, or like yesterday when I was trying out this tablet, unplugging and plugging something in, 2 of my screens, which are the ones that need to be on anyway, but it doesn't matter which 2 they would be. 2 of my screens just flash on and off to the point that I know it's more than just it's not the monitor. It would be weird if 2 independent monitors were doing it anyway, but you can't actually do a lot on the PC when it's happening. Like it's full on something is being janky, and it's very easily solved by just turning the PC off and turning it back on again after this input has changed, and it will figure itself out. thankfully, PC viewing very fast. It's not the end of the world, but it might just be like sometimes small things are more annoying than big things. Because big things you have to like fundamentally find a solution for, right? Buy a new thing, change what you do, all that kind of stuff. But stuff that's like just small enough that it's not really a problem that you need to go and buy a new computer for or do anything like that, but it's just fucking annoying. Modern's gonna be sensitive static, it's gonna be chair, and you're getting up and down while doing that. No, it's literally, it is 100% the inputs of the screens or the outputs from the graphics card changing. That's all it is, and I do not know why. And like I said, it only changed when I did an NVIDIA driver. But by rights, when you do a driver update, the screens all flick on and off because obviously the card sort of shuts down and reloads. So it may have been coincidence, but yeah, it's really annoying. What's more annoying about it is I have to hard reset my PC, which doesn't really do anything, but I can't even like restart my PC manually because I can't get to I can't move my mouse across the screen with the amount of times it's flashing. It's very silly. It's very silly. It's just the fun things of having PCs. Like, in a way, I envy people who just play stuff on console and their job doesn't involve PCs at all. At the same time, I have no idea how I would function if I didn't have a PC. At this point. You know, it's a bit late now. It's getting close to, you know, almost 20 years probably since I've had a PC entirely to myself. And obviously it's then been, fuck knows, like maybe 15 since I've basically been on it every single day for work and or pleasure. Yeah, it's installing the driver on this laptop, but it is maybe 25% of the way across. I hate this. Let's not look at that. And just leave it alone. What else? We've had Gamescom stuff, which is obviously why I took Tuesday off. I will admit, like, hilariously, I probably didn't need to take Tuesday off. Because the thing I was waiting for didn't come in until very late. So I could have just ended stream early, but it is what it is. There was lots of stuff, though. There's been quite a bit of stuff. I mean, Silksong got announced that's coming out in 2 weeks. A couple of hours ago. So that's a thing. And I still haven't played Hollow Knight properly. For some reason in Hollow Knight, I fall off. I've tried 3 times. There is a point, and I think I fell off at exactly the same point last time. I don't remember the thing that I did beforehand. But I want to say that there is a point early-ish on, it's probably only a few hours in, where you are supposed to, like, go, basically, I guess, find the next area, find the next location. I just can't find it. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. And I guess my brain generally is like, whoop, well, I'm done. And that sucks, because it's a really fun game, but for some reason, I want to say it's the same place I was last time when I tried it. It is the same thing, and I was like, I don't know where I'm going. I genuinely have no idea how to get to where I need to be. I don't know which direction, and then I'll, like, die and get, well, not stuck, but I'll have to, like, run back and do all this other stuff, and I'll just get annoyed. But it was ages ago. It's probably well over a year ago since I last touched it, so I cannot remember. But Silksong looked fantastic in the trailer. I'm very curious about the inevitable stories that come out. Hey, Lily. Yeah, I'm very excited to see the stories and the dev stuff. Because, like, Silksong has been in development for so long. You know they've had so many problems. That you just... The dev cycle is gonna be interesting as hell. Oh. Good grief. My OBS is being stupid. Oh. Yeah, because no other studio has that amount of time that they're able to just like spend 7 years, probably make a game, remake the game again, and continue, right? And actually, it'll come out and do fantastically, because I can't imagine that game's bad. So it's an insane prospect. Well, the driver installed. I don't think it's going to help, unfortunately. But the driver did install. Oh, wait. Wait, the app sees my tablet. Hang on. Where's the pen? It's still flashing. Oh, hey, it's working. I don't have a screen, though. That's interesting. Chat, we've made it to a new tier. So the tablet works as plug it in, pen is registered. The thing that doesn't work is the HDMI. Which is curious. What's the make and model of it? It is a... I'll just type it in chat. Oh, I have to do it on my other screen because I'm logged out on OBS. It is a new on canvas. That's 30 Pro. So this is more progress than I had yesterday, but then I don't actually know what I've done differently. All I did was I'm trying with the studio driver for NVIDIA because I saw that helped in some ways. But my laptop's not seeing it as an external display. I did briefly get my PC to see it as an external display, but the screen still didn't light up, which I didn't have the right driver potentially for that. So here nor there. Nothing has changed about the power. The power flashing green and red is an interesting puzzle that I cannot find anything on the internet about, bar one person saying my cable was ruined. Which I now have a new cable. But I can draw with it. Okay, and interestingly, you don't need the HDMI plugged in for it to register at all. It is all coming through the USB. So I guess it's acting as a USB touch mouse, essentially. Very bizarre. Is it one of those you can connect it to purely via USB-C? I don't think so. It is very specifically, there's a new, I think there's a newer version. This is probably quite old. I got this for 20-something pounds. There is a newer version that I think uses the USB-C connection. But when I was looking for a replacement cable, I looked into, can I skip out on this 3-splitter thing? Because also I don't have enough ports in my actual PC to use this, or like leave it plugged in if that's the case. And it looks like no, because it does, the USB physically doesn't fit. It did say if it does support that, you can use any USB-C that supports it. So I hacked away at a USB-C to get the plug in the port last night just to see if anything would happen. No, and I didn't think it would really. But yeah, interestingly, so everything's working now apart from the HDMI part, which is obviously quite important. But it's not working. It's just not being seen by the PC, but it's taking mouse input, so it's not entirely busted. Try it with an alt mode USB-C cable. Most laptops are mainly do DisplayPort over USB-C anyway. I haven't, to be fair, I haven't tried it with USB-C on this laptop. I did try it on my PC, which I was just trying to see if anything would happen. It didn't. I will try that for science. Though I don't think so, because I just don't think it has the functionality in the tablet itself. But if it gets detected as a monitor, then that's one step, I guess. Yes, okay, with the USB, it doesn't even get enough, it doesn't pull enough through to even get power from it. So I'm going to put that down to the tablet itself, because I would expect it to at least attempt to. Again, just as a device, not as a screen. But yeah, it's really weird because the tablet is perfectly good. To be honest, even looking at like the pen and stuff, I don't even know if this was used particularly. Oh no, no. It was definitely used at some point. The pen has enough gross stuff on it where the button is for it to have been used. So it stopped working at some point by the looks of things. But again, it works in mouse mode. It's just the HDMI that doesn't work. So there's like a next stage of the thing now. The thing, that's apparently where my brain is at today. Canvas 13 and USB-C, it should work. I'm having the correct standard. Yeah. I mean, I may have the wrong cable, but I couldn't find an official USB-C cable that would fit this one. So I don't know if this is a particular one, because it's the Pro GT. If there's more than one port, then it also uses one for power. No, this has a singular... It has a weird 3-in-1 cable that has power, USB, and HDMI coming out of it. It's a USB-C cable, basically, split into 3. But there's got to be something wrong with the port if the signal's not coming out, right? But the screen's not being seen by the PC. That's the big thing. But it could be. Like yesterday, I did get it to show up. It didn't do anything, but my PC had a 4th screen registered. So it did partially, but then again, I hadn't got enough setup to know if then, okay, now it's being seen by my PC. Can I use it? Have I got the right drivers and stuff? But I couldn't even get it detected yesterday. But I like the app for the tablet saw the tablet and I could use the pen. But it's just the monitor so far. If it registers the screen, it's at least talking to its ID chip. I'm cool. Good. I'm glad that makes sense to you, because I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't really understand the flashing power button. A lot of people say that it has a red light and then doesn't turn on. Like nothing happens. But like mine is flashing, and even when it registers, it's flashing. But there's no visual on the screen. That's just... bizarre. Someone helped someone fix it by showing them where the ports were on their PC. I'm like, okay, if I had that issue, I'd be quite happy. Because they'd be like, oh no, just plug it in here. Oh, bizarre. What an interesting possibility. I don't know why I'm doing this on stream chat. It's just my face talking about Reddit threads. But I do find, like, I have always been the person to fix things, and I get completely lost in the idea of, like, tech specifically. I'm not actually particularly handy. Good with machinery, not necessarily good with hand tools or general DIY. Good at bodging things, not necessarily good at doing them properly. Interesting. The one's talking about the app itself not helping the situation, so let's try and sort that out. The flashing is definitely the weirdest part. I don't know what that's for. Well, I love when you read through like tech forum stuff or Reddit threads or whatever, and someone's like, "Oh, I'm having the problem too. Did you fix it?" And then they respond with like, "Oh, don't worry. I just didn't know you needed the HDMI plugged in." Like, yeah. If the cable has all the plugs, it's not usually an optional thing. How curious. Because as far as I'm aware, it should be seen as a secondary screen, even if it doesn't work, right? Even if the pen functionality isn't working, all that kind of stuff, it should just work as a monitor, I think. I think my favorite thing is when you spend hours searching for something, finding a Reddit post, and there's a few people with the same problem, and OP just answer with an edit. I fixed it, never mind. Yeah, I've seen that one a lot. A lot. The thing that confuses me the most about this one is the flashing red, flashing green, flashing red, flashing green that the power button doesn't appear to be listed anywhere. And it feels like such a deliberate thing that it's trying to tell you. Because hardware is not usually programmed to make certain flashes and things unless there's something specific that it's trying to tell you. It would just not work, or it would be a singular color, usually. But it's deliberately cycling the colors. So it's like, okay, does that mean not enough power? Does that mean, like the connection's wonky? But again, it works as a mouse, so it's not that. So does it simply not have enough power for the, like, the monitor part of it? Does it work? Does the mouse bit work without power? Trying to talk to you about your extended car insurance. I don't have a car, so that would be even more worrying. Well, the app's picked it up again. And unplugging the power and putting the power back in very quickly brings it back up into the app. So it's connecting. It's just the HDMI part that's not. Bizarre. How the hell did I get it to work yesterday, then? Whoops. Sorry, chat. Should play Donut Country? Oh yeah, don't I say country every time. I know I've said that before because my brain was like, you said it wrong again. I will at some point. I'm really struggling with games at the moment. I'm really struggling with games at the moment. It's why the streams have been a bit wonky. Aside from it being hot. Verbal dyslexia, yeah. I'm just stupid. It's okay. It's fine. Okay, so the old cable does exactly what the new cable does. So I don't actually think it's a cable problem. It has to be a tablet problem. I shouldn't have opened the cable before stream, because it's all I can think about now. I was so sure that there would be a way to get this to work. I would, one would assume the person selling it would also have tried most of these things. But oftentimes I've noticed that people who sell tech, because it doesn't work or they can't get it to work, aren't really tech-savvy people. So, I was hoping this was one of those times. I don't know if it is. The brightness of this website. I also very much enjoy. There's a line on the support stuff, which obviously they have to have. It's like if your screen is showing a black screen and not, not actually showing a signal, is it actually a screened tablet and not just a pen tablet? Is it a pen display? That just makes me laugh because there's plenty of people that are like, oh, it's not showing anything, and it's because they haven't bought one that has a screen. I bought a second-hand PS4 before, hoping it only needed a simple fix. Instead, I discovered that someone had blowtorched the HDMI port inside and scorched earth the printed cable board to soot. So to fix it, 5-foot solder and a hair width copper wiring to get it to work again. That's insane. I've definitely almost purchased something similar. Well, I backed out because I was like, this feels dodgy. There was enough before the purchase that I was like, oh shit, I don't think this is probably going to work. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go through support, and I think support is going to tell me that it just doesn't work. I think that's going to be the issue. I can't find anything obvious, but we'll try with support and see if that does anything. Took it apart and sold it for spares. Very smart. Very smart. I bought what was the last thing? I bought a tablet. It was still quite expensive. I bought a tablet that was like the note-taking ones called Remarkable. It was like the first generation of those. I didn't know if because the other ones were like £300-400, and I didn't know if I wanted to spend that much. So I spent like 80 on a broken first gen one, which essentially just meant the guy just didn't want to deal with it. All I did was like flash it and it was fine. And it worked for a good while. It had a glitch every now and again, but it was perfectly fine for the money. And I used that for a year or two and then bought the actual one when I sort of, tested that it was worth it. But I've thankfully been in a position where I haven't really had to dive back into buying lots of secondhand tech for things, because it is a nightmare. Especially usually because people who are selling tech for what is a reasonable secondhand price is usually it's usually not far enough away from the full price that I'm like, just buy a new one and know that it works and have a receipt and stuff. That's the issue I have with most of it. And then when you get this is a really good deal, someone's, bred mice inside of it or something. Or it fell off the back of a truck. I'm trying to think if have I bought anything that was very clearly... I feel like I have, but I can't remember what it was. I feel like I definitely bought something that was very much, this... fell off the back of a truck somewhere. Or what was it? I don't have it anymore, whatever it was. I definitely bought something that when the guy... I've been scammed before. I was in a very, very, very stressful situation. And I was moving flat. It was... In fact, I think it was the first... It was the first not related to university or whatever. So it was completely just me. Flat with an ex-partner, and I was trying to move in and get it sorted because I didn't have a lot of time, didn't have a lot of resources, that kind of thing. And I was like, whatever. So I looked up on, I don't know, Gumtree or something to buy a fridge and a washing machine. And I found one, I didn't have a lot of money. So I found one that people were getting rid of. It was old and shitty. And I was like, it's fine, whatever. Whatever it is, it's better than nothing. And they got it. They arrived. I want to say they had a freezer and a fridge in a hatchback kind of thing. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I've made a mistake here. And they brought it in and they put it in the spots in the house and stuff. And that, you know, there were many points where I should have stepped in and said something or done something. I was like, I don't really have, like, my head was like, whatever, you know, just it'll be done. And, you know, also that naivety of like, you know, I'm sure it's fine, whatever. And the fridge was just broken. The canister, like the important part of the fridge, just didn't, had a hole in it or whatever. Either way, it just didn't work. I had a guy who could come around to look at it, and he was like, yeah, it's busted, right? Like, it's never gonna work. And he's like, this is the most common thing that I see people get like sort of conned with or whatever. And he was like, I have another fridge, and you can have for like, I don't know, it was like 60 quid or something, which to me at the time was still a lot of money. I just spent probably 40 on another one, right? Yeah, and he brought that round, and like, that was solved in that sense. And then the washing machine that I got from the same thing, because again, I got a fridge freezer and a washing machine from the same people, because I was like, great, I'll be so good at, like, we'll just be sorted for a while, you know. And it was, the washing machine was actually fine, but the door didn't open. All that was is the actual like latch was broken, so you had to open it. And I did do this for the entire time I lived there, is you just put like a cable or something around the door and just pulled it and it opened. It actually wasn't that bad. So that one was like fine, because the washing machine was perfectly fine. The door latch was broken. And I was like, there must be a way for this. This doesn't feel like an actual, you know, it isn't like seized or anything. It's literally just like stuck closed because the plastic doesn't pull on the lever. So that one I fixed. But yeah, that was a very telling moment in, like, you know, oh, people are awful. And if a deal is too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. Right. But yeah, I don't think I've bought much secondhand stuff since then. Not because of that. Just because, you know, I had a job in the end. Like, a while, you know, a year after that, I had a job that I could pay for things. You know, I could risk getting something on finance for a couple of months that I could pay off because I actually had income. So yeah, I've tried to stay away from stuff. And that's why I did like the big PC purchase with my inheritance, because I was like, look, I'm going to get this because if something happens, if I lose a job or can't work, I say can't work, or like, you know, can't work for the company I'm at anymore for whatever reason, then I have a PC, right? I can continue doing what I do. Which apparently is not doing it with a tablet that I bought for £24. But we will send them a message and see. In fact, we can do it now because I'm never going to stop thinking about this. And this is the last thing we can do, I think. Let's send customer service a message. Where's their serial number? Where did they put that? On the warranty card that someone's never used? Yeah. How do I tell what the driver, as in the Huon driver, or how do I even tell what version it is? I don't know if that thing itself had driver. I guess that's it. Wait, I wonder if you can update the firmware. Wait, do they have firmware? I didn't see anything about firmware. Firmware update. How to update? Oh, there is a firmware update tool. Is that a thing I can do? Wait, chat. There's another chance. Tech fixing is potentially not over. Also, wait, there's a firmware update tool? Why didn't it give me that when I was using everything else? I couldn't find it. Stupid thing. It is best to contact support before updating your tablet's firmware. Well, you know, it's not really working, so I don't think that's... I guess that's why it's not displayed anywhere, because they tell you not to do it. But this must be out of date. It's old as hell. Update. You on? Models supporting update. This is where it doesn't have. Models supported. Weirdly, my oh no, Pro 13. Okay, it is there. I was gonna say I thought mine was the only one that didn't support. Guess we can see if it does anything. We'd be like, oh, it's up to date. No. I don't know why I didn't think about actual firmware update. I kind of assumed the app would have that. But, you know. Did it update? What is happening? What happened? Oh, there we go. No firmware updates available. Really? Okay, well. I guess that solves that piece. Wait, chat, we've progressed. So now, now the screen flashes. It like flickers as if it's trying to turn on. It didn't do that before. I rolled back. There was no firmware update, so I just rolled back to see if anything would happen. It also, my PC, I think my laptop also did the like, you've plugged in a monitor thing temporarily. Okay, so my laptop sees it. I think we might have lost, chat. My laptop now sees it. It says duplicate these displays. Yeah, I can move my mouse to it. But alas, we have no signal. We have lots of fingerprints, as you can see. Yeah, I think the screen may be gone. I don't know what that means. I don't actually have any idea what it means when your monitor won't. It's also stopped flashing. It was flashing before. It is now working, weirdly. But clearly it did need a firmware update. Sometimes with that, I pull out a programming kit and reflash the firmware manually. Yeah. This one. And it is now, like I said, it is consistently showing up on my PC as a monitor, but the screen is black. So it's unfortunate. I don't think there's anything I can do now. I think we've come to the end of the road. Yeah, how bizarre. The firmware update literally fixed the PC being able to see it just easily. The screen's just black though. It was flickering. It's not flickering anymore. I mean, currently it's just a nicer pen display. Like, I've got a small tablet. You know, there are uses for it, just... Yeah, the input and everything seems perfect, so it's definitely just the screen itself. I don't see any physical issue, though. So I wonder what it is. I wonder what it is. Oh, I was submitting a ticket, wasn't I? That was what led us here in the end. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Boop. It is what it is. I'm restarting the laptop for one last look. I've submitted a ticket. They will come back and tell me, oh, you need to replace the tablet. And I'll be like, oh, well, yeah, that's probably what the other person got. We're getting more flashing. Yeah, I think that's pretty broken. It's stopped now. It was worth a try. Put on a risk for 24 quid. I can take that. Can take that hit if need be. Oh well, at least I can return the other cable. Because the other cable definitely had issues. Or definitely didn't have any issues, because the same problem's happening with the new cable. Oh, weird. After a restart of the laptop, it's not seeing it as a screen. Okay, now it is. Still not working, but that is happening. No dice. All right, I'm going to pee and then we'll do something. 1 second. I'm back. Oh, now they've announced the thing? Now they do the thing, chat? Like like what? I really wanted to see this. I'm gonna put this on.
Please join me in welcoming Ian Hazzikostas and Marie Hamilton for the World of Midnight. Give it up!
I was trying to watch this before stream, but they didn't upload it.
Guten Tag und herzlich willkommen. Thank you, Gamescom.
Hey, he said German stuff.
Thank you for coming out for this.
Oh, I want her
panel where we're
t-shirt.
going to talk about the world of Midnight, the story, the zones, the cultures, and the places that you'll go. I'm Ian Hazzikostas, game director on WoW.
Hi, I'm Maria Hamilton, Associate Design Director on WoW. I'm super happy to be here.
Oh, I know why this took so long. They didn't have all the stuff prepped to upload it.
Today we're going to talk about story, cultures, delves, dungeons, and raids. So let me just kick things off with a quick recap of the stories so far, what brought us here. So we began the World Soul Saga around a year ago and began telling the largest, most ambitious story we've ever
So
tried to
their
tell.
camera's struggling quite severely.
It all began with whispers, visions that the champions of Azeroth were beginning to experience that ultimately led Thrall and Anduin, among others, to, you know, a certain sword in a certain place. We investigated, we tracked those visions down, and ultimately they led us to the mysterious land of Khazalgar, where we deployed the floating city of Dalaran, and that didn't go so well.
Oopsie.
We were in fact ambushed by Xal'atath and her Nerubian allies, where Xal'atath wielded the Dark Heart artifact to drain the power of Dalaran, capturing Khadgar as well, and destroying the city. Over the course of our adventures, Xal'atath thwarted us several times, but Alleria was able to ultimately perceive the power and the importance of the Dark Heart. She struck out at it, damaging it. This severely disrupted Xal'atath's plans, as well as freeing Khadgar. He was mortally wounded, but Anduin was able to step in and save him. But that disruption led Xal'atath to seek out the aid of one Gallywix. Now, the Dark Heart is this incredibly powerful artifact, originally crafted by Neltharion with the aid of the goblins. So who better than some goblins to repair the damage? But she should have found some more trustworthy goblins, because Gallywix, of course, had a plan of his own. And the Dark Heart ended up falling into the hands of Shadowguard Ethereals, who aimed to use it to bring back the Void Lord Demencius. A threat so great that it even forced Xal'atath to set aside her goals and work with us for a time to stop his rise and the inevitable devouring of all worlds. Now, we have defeated Demencius, at least on story mode, Raid Finder, Normal, and Heroic. I think Echo is actually working on Mythic around 25 minutes from here right now. So is Method and Liquid. But would you believe that upon Demencius' defeat, Xal'atath was not, as it turns out, on our side. And so she claimed the power of the Void Lord Demencius, ascended to become one of the most powerful beings the cosmos has ever known. And now, as we move into Midnight, she is
so
set
cool.
to launch an assault that will plunge our world into darkness, that will extinguish all light unless we stand against it.
All right, well, let's start off talking about our heroes and our foes. So starting off, we've got Turalyon, Eretor, and Alleria. We've been following Alleria's journey for a bit here. We know about her feelings about Xal'atath.
Blood Elves were introduced
Right.
nigh 20 years ago
We also
now,
have Turalyon,
and
her
this
husband,
hits
who will be an
very
important
hard.
part of Midnight as a representative of the light coming in response to Liadrin's prayer. The Army of Light has arrived, and so have the players.
Wait, was she talking about... Hang on.
So at the very right, all along, we also have Turalyon, her husband, who will be an important part of Midnight as a representative of the light.
Oh, interesting.
So at the very end of the cinematic there, when we see the light coming in response to Liadrin's prayer, the Army of Light has arrived, and so have the players. We also will be called by the light to come and join that battle. Eretor, of course, is their child. He also is a paladin, and he is very supportive and understanding of both of his parents. He's trying to understand the void influences that Alleria is dealing with, as well as the strong call to light that his father has. So he's a little bit in the middle of the two. So they are very important to our story. And of course we have Xal'atath. Couldn't go very far without Xal'atath, our very cool villain. She seems to do whatever she needs to do to achieve whatever her goal is. She's now stated what her goal is. She's going to wipe us off the planet. She's going to take Azeroth. She's going to take all the power for herself and bring down Midnight. So looking forward to seeing what's happening with Xal'atath. Wasn't really expecting the Army of the Light to show up there, as you could tell. She seemed a little surprised, but she's got plenty of forces and she's very powerful at this point. We also have Liadrin. She is she's the Blood Knight matriarch. She's obviously a very powerful paladin. She's the one who has called upon the light to come and save the day. And she is going to be very important to our efforts to push back the void. She does not have a strong liking for the Amani trolls, and that will become important.
I think the Amani trolls killed her
who we met
family.
Back in the War Within, the Heronir. We met a few of them, not a lot. And as you probably know, we'll be going and seeing more about their culture and their race. Orwena is going to have an opportunity to teach us about her people and what they care about, what their interests are, their culture. And she is one of the youngest of her race, actually. She is not an elder. There are elder Heronir, much more knowledgeable and wise. She follows the voice of her goddess, and that has taken her into places that we have been able to find her at last. We have Umbric and the Void Elves. This is an opportunity for the Void Elves to really come into their own.
Hell yeah, Void Elves.
Banished, essentially, from Silvermoon and their kin, essentially, because of the void taint that they feel that they have. Umbric is obviously trying to pull his people together, and he has a lot to contribute to our efforts.
Those shoulders are sick.
The void. We have Zuljara and Zul'Jan, grandchildren of Zul'Jin. Zuljara is the chieftain of the Amani. Zul'Jan is her greatest advisor and brother. They are going to be giving us an opportunity to experience the Amani culture, not as enemies this time, but as sort of friends. They too are having slight void problems, and they need some assistance. Needless to say, the Blood Elves are uninspired by that request, as they aren't on best of terms. And then we have the Void and the Light, arguably the biggest conflict here between two forces. The Void we have been fighting against, the Light we have been fighting with. But, you know, extremes of either are problematic, as you might imagine. So there will be some issues between the two, and also issues between people that are Void-based, like Void Elves, and the Army of the Light Paladins, for example. So that's another important sort of contrast to watch during Midnight. And now let's look at the really pretty pictures, go into the culture and zones.
This is what I'm here for.
So our first culture to talk about is Blood Elves. Those of you that don't play Horde may not know a lot about the Blood Elves.
That's some incredible costume design.
They were High Elves before adopting the name Sin'dorei to represent and reflect upon the death of so many of their own. The Scourge, did a terrible number on their home area in Eversong and Ghostlands, and they have been recovering ever since. Their need for power, their need for energy and magical strength is well known. They are very, very tied to the Sunwell, which is, of course, exactly what Xal'atath is going after. Here's some pre-alpha footage for you that we just captured a couple weeks ago. I want to point out that there's not a lot of creatures spawned yet because, as I said, we're pre-alpha. But it's looking really good. It's exactly like what you might expect from Eversong.
That's so
Eversong
cool.
and Ghostlands have been combined into a single zone, Quel'Thalas. Because it's a relatively small zone. They were small zones back in Classic. And now with Skywriting, we want it to feel fun to move through them. But as you can see, you know, it's the usual sorts of architecture.
So that's interesting. So again, I'm spilling beans that no one potentially even knows about in this chat. But this zone came out in 2007 when the Blood Elves came out, and the whole storyline was that Arthas had come through with his undead army, caused a scar across the entire zone. Well, alas. Why is my bot continuously spamming me? Stop it. Yeah. Wait, why did I open? I opened a link instead of the image. Open an image, not the link. Thank you. So yeah, you can see here. So Arthas's whole thing was he came from here, and he basically scarred the land all the way up to the Sunwell, like through the city, somehow across the ocean. I guess he could freeze the ocean, to be fair. Through here, and then the Sunwell's in here. So that was his whole purpose, was to corrupt the Sunwell, which is an awesome design, to be honest. It added a lot, but what it did mean then is that this whole area was tainted, and it was like undead filled, and it was actually legit Forsaken, which is one of the races on the Horde, had taken up this place mostly, and then there were some Blood Elves and stuff, and then the Trolls of Zul'Aman that they were talking about are down here. So what they've done is, because they've overhauled this and it's now been in game, oh god, it probably hasn't been enough years really, but it's probably been like a decade or so. All of this has been healed or built over, which means all of this is no longer tainted and dying. It's now all green and lush. So super. I'm hoping, I've seen a little bit. I'm pretty sure there's a glimpse of, I think, this piece. Or maybe this piece where they show, like, you can still just about see where it was, but it's now all green and lush. Like, it's very cool. So yeah, all of this is included as well. Windrunner Spire, Sanctum of the Sun, like places I remember. But again, this was in 2007 did this come in. And I remember going through the starting area, which is here. This is your starting area. And it was just incredible. Like, for me, like, Blood Elves always have a special place. So the fact that the whole thing of this, so apparently they've redone this as well. They've redone all of this, which is all starting area stuff. And then you come out here, and this is your 10 to, no, is this your like 5 to 10 it used to be, or whatever. And then this was the second half. So it's so interesting. What's really interesting is that if they've redone the whole thing, a lot of the leveling takes place in the Ghostlands. So if they've changed the Ghostlands to being like nice now, the whole leveling experience will be different from Blood Elves, which is really cool. It's one of the coolest things about online games or online MMO RPGs like Destiny or anything like that, is where the actual world takes steps forward. And in this case, it's like a city that was made that you can't even, it's not even on the actual map. Like, this is a instanced off area because I guess they were struggling to, like, tech wise back then. And then they're going to actually add it to the map now. Super cool. Anyway, you're welcome for that.
Glistening towers, the amazing foliage and manicured gardens, and there are some things that have healed. The Dead Scar in particular has totally healed and is no longer there.
Oh yeah, that has to be. That feels so much like this tower that I just, like, that feels like Tranquillion, whatever the fuck it was called. This. See how the even in the icon, It has a tower and a little spot. Like the main place you would go to was this tower, and then next to it was that, I'm pretty sure. I'm tempted to go there in-game at this point. Yeah, I'm almost certain that's where that is. Why is it not playing when I click on the...
Not all
There we go.
parts of the zone, however, have healed up. There are still some areas that look a little bit iffy, this being one of them. So yeah, essentially, it's the same place you're used to. If you're a Blood Elf, if not, here's your opportunity to check it out. Check out the zone. Reimagining it was super fun for us. Artists had a great time. Had the opportunity to make it just a little bit bigger, a little bit better, and increase the fidelity of the zone. Hope you'll enjoy it. We're going to move on now. And this is Silvermoon City.
That's insane.
I would say that because it's a hub city, there's a small section of Silvermoon that's been set aside as a sanctuary area where Horde and Alliance share that space. But the majority of the city is Horde, and you know, Alliance is kill on sight, as you would expect. Essentially, our world building team had a wonderful time. It's all new assets. The city walls are all brand new, all to top fidelity. Everything has been remade. We've got places you'll recognize. You should feel real nostalgia if you've had any experience here. We have Murder's Row, which you're going to see a dungeon related to that as well. But overall, it's the same glorious, wonderful Silvermoon you love, but with much, much better, much more recent fidelity art. And once this stuff gets filled in with our spawning, it's going to look amazing. And yeah, there's a little Void Storm problem going on. And let's talk about the Amani, because they're the next culture we're going to want to talk about. They were previously enemies. If you happen to be around and played the raid in Zul'Aman, then you're familiar with the Amani and sort of their culture. We've had an opportunity to expand them because we created an entire zone for them now. They are very proud people. They worked very hard to get their land. They had some important work to do. The Zandalari basically said, well, you can have that land if you defeat this, you know, giant, evil, horrible thing. And so they did that. And they were a great empire for a period of time, but they've fallen sort of into a lesser status now. They've sort of lost their touch with the Loa. They're not as close to them. You know, being right on the border and having a lot of conflict with the Blood Elves makes this a little tricky for them. They too are having some void problems. This is Zul'Aman. We've built the entire zone out.
It looks awesome.
You will see the raid space. It still exists. Those of you that did that raid will recognize those buildings.
I guess they're going to have the raid towards the entrance and then everything behind it.
Very tall mountains. It's temperate. It rains a fair bit. It's got eagle, lynx, Jan'alai. It's got
also, just side note, you can tell how quickly that they had to try and get this working because they clearly weren't entirely prepped to get this video out, just because it's a lot of work. But the bottom left-hand corner, I don't know if you can see it. Does it go away if it's paused? I don't think it does. If you look at the bottom left-hand corner under where it says next emote, you can see the video controls for the B-roll that they're playing right now. Which means that they were having trouble and they had to capture the B-rolls or the slideshow potentially. That's yeah, they had some issues. I think this will be sorted by Saturday. This was supposed to come out like 6 hours ago.
And abandoned. And Zul'Jara is going to need to find a way to help her people survive the void onslaught that is coming for them. As you can see where the void has come in, it's not looking quite so good. And let's move on to the Heronir. So we met the Heronir early on in the war with
their designs are so cool.
Really sure what they were about. We didn't know their story, and we didn't know their connection really to the rest of the world. We'd never seen them before. They're ancient guardians of the Rootways, and they're led actually by a council of elders. They have a very direct connection with their goddess, and Orwena has a very strong direct connection, in fact, with the goddess, which led her to leave her people and go out into the outside world, something that they don't tend to do and they don't really look kindly upon. So, as you probably have heard, they are unlocked as an allied race. You'll be able to make your very own Heronir. We're going to have great customization.
Yeah, they're very cool. They definitely use the Night Elf base, but they've given them like a fiercer look. They've got little tusks and stuff. And the quills. The quills seem to be a feature. Very cool. Very cool.
For them. They look pretty awesome. I have to say, I've seen the druid forms. We weren't able to show those yet. They are really awesome. One of them is a pangolin, which just looks amazing. They are prone to wearing this bioluminescent paint, and they have different kinds of patterns they can put on their faces and chests. So really cool looking, really awesome. Not really elves, not really trolls. Those of you that have kind of seen them previously, played in the War Within, know that they take a bat form when they want to travel. So that's the Heronir and their customizations. And this is the zone, Herondar. It is a fungal jungle place.
That's so, the art team for World of Warcraft absolutely kill it every time. The environments are insane.
All converge here, all are twisted up in this area, this pocket area, which isn't really directly connected to anything. The people, the Heronir travel through the routeways themselves, so they're able to move around the world. One of the interesting things about this zone is it has a place called the Rift of Aln, and from the Rift of Aln will issue forth creatures that their goddess dreams. And sometimes they are horrific and horrible things, and some members of the Heronir take an oath, give up their connection to the goddess, and serve as wardens of that place, preventing those horrible creatures from attacking. They also have this place called the Den of Echoes, which we're looking at now. This is where the Heronir remember their past through paintings, and you will have an opportunity to learn some of those stories by interacting with those paintings. And let's talk a little bit about the Void, since we also have that as a culture. You can see people you recognize on one side and people you probably recognize less on the other side. Void creatures in general are very predatory. They are interested in eating anything smaller and weaker than themselves and taking that power. The Dominar, which are sort of the strongest, are a bit different.
That dude's insane on the left, just under my portrait. Under my portrait, under my camera. Played too many video games recently.
Again, through conquest, through beating on and dominating others. And you will deal with Dominar as one of the stronger representatives of the Void. Of course, Xal'atath is part of this group. Cultists who follow Xal'atath and follow the Void. We've already seen the Shadow Guard as well. There's even cute little ones, but they will try to eat you, so don't think that they're all that cute. And this is Voidstorm. This is a mysterious world that has been formed by the Void. Everything here is hungry. Everything will eat you given opportunity. This is all about gaining power, becoming stronger, becoming more powerful, and eating the next thing. Essentially, we have a big raid here in Voidstorm. This is where we will face off against the Void with the Army of Light and attempt to make sense of what's going on here. But there are some gorgeous pictures. I would say the best blues and purples ever, probably.
It's super cool.
Right here. But generally speaking, a really, really cool zone to explore. And you can be pretty sure that they're enemies, all of them. All right, and I'm going to hand off to Ian for Delves, Dungeons, and Raids. Thanks all.
Maria's great.
Thank you, Maria.
all those amazing zones that you just saw, of course, are going to contain delves, dungeons, and raids. So really, delves are one of our proudest additions to War Within, and they are, of course, here to stay. And so you have 10 new delves coming with Midnight, scattered across these zones. I think we've learned a lot of lessons. We've taken feedback on what worked and what didn't. And so these are going to have all the same layers of variety and replayability.
Delves are like they can be group play, but you can do them solo. So if you just want to go in and do some content and get some gear, you can, and some currency and whatnot. They're fun. I actually quite enjoy them.
Where you can use your ground mounts to get around more easily, and we're really happy to be able to integrate them into the stories of the zones, because now that they're such a proven format, we can really have quests lead you through them more regularly. Now, of course, in addition to these 10 delves, there is an 11th Nemesis delve, where you will track down the Nemesis that has been plaguing you over the course of the first season. And taking the place of Bran Bronzebeard will be a new companion, none other than our good friend Valeera.
It's Valeera.
Now, she will aid you in many of the same ways as Bran, and hopefully stand in fewer things that you'd prefer she not stand in. So, dungeons. We have 8 new dungeons coming in Midnight. 4 level up, 4 max level. And again, these, we always try to showcase fun gameplay and innovative looks at the dungeon format. We'll be returning to Magister's Terrace, which has really been reimagined and expanded from last we saw it. We'll visit some new locations that weren't accessible before, including a balcony overlooking the Sunwell itself.
How cool.
Murder Row, a corner of Silvermoon. I think for Court of Stars fans back from Legion, there's some of those vibes here, as we're actually going in undercover to investigate rumors of the use of fell magic within the walls of Silvermoon. And before we know it, we're going to be plunged into combat, and the dungeon will unfold from there. Another favorite is the Voidscar Arena in the Voidstorm. Here, at the whims of one of the Dominar that Maria was just mentioning, combatants from around the universe come together to kind of battle to the death for the pleasure of the Dominar, and we're going to be thrown into that arena as part of this dungeon. And don't worry, especially in Mythic Plus, as waves come at you, you can control the pace of the waves. Of course, we're going to have a mix of 4 of these dungeons, as well as 4 returning fan favorites in the first season of Midnight. But unlike in War Within, all 8 of these dungeons will be available in Mythic Zero during that pre-season period right at launch. Another fun dungeon that we'll be venturing into is Windrunner Spire, where for those of you, particularly lore fans out there, we're going to get to learn more about the family history and the tragic background of the Windrunner family. This is a wing dungeon with plenty of mysteries to uncover.
Why did it stop? What happened? Oh, did it not? Wait, it did not processed? Hang on a second. No, did the... Oh, we're back. I think we're back.
In Harrenar. And then shortly after that, we'll be able to take the fight back to the Sunwell.
Wait, hang on. I missed something here.
Also be the Dream Rift, a 1-boss raid.
Oh, I think the raids bit's missing. I think there's supposed to be the bit where they talk about the Voidscar raid here.
Where for those of you, particularly lore fans out there,
yeah, they rushed to get this out, and I think something broke in the rendering.
The tragic background of the Windrunner family. This is a wing dungeon with plenty of mysteries to uncover.
Yeah, this is supposed to be, and for raids, and he's going to talk about the Voidscar raid, and then he's going to say, takes place in the dream. Somewhere.
The Dream Rift, a 1-boss raid in Harrenar. And then shortly after that, we'll be able to take the fight back to the Sunwell and the Gates of Silvermoon in the March on Keldanas. So really excited to have different environments, different settings, and really integrate the raids into the stories that we're telling more than ever before. Because with story mode, all players can experience these epic moments, and we can offer a wider range of environments for guilds to challenge themselves against. So that is a quick look at the world, the setting, and what's coming in Midnight. Thank you, Gamescom.
I wonder if they're going to do it. That was quite quick. How long is the one supposed to be on Saturday? Wow. Warcraft. Gamescom. Schedule. Do. Systems download. It says when it starts. When does it finish? Wow, it's only 30 minutes again. Interesting. I wonder if they're going to do a Wowcast next week then. But yeah, that was incredibly self-indulgent of me. I appreciate it. I was trying to watch that all day. I think they didn't have the right equipment in Gamescom to stream it. Or they changed their mind. Or they couldn't do it for whatever reason. And they said that they would record it and then put the VOD up afterwards. But I get the feeling because there was no live production, they basically recorded it on a camera and got hold of the audio, I assume, and then had to put it all together. They had to add lower thirds. They had to get all the B-roll in place. And they obviously didn't want to just show like the camera view of the screen behind the developers speaking. They wanted to put the actual B-roll in and all the rest of it. And then as you saw at the end there, they definitely had a problem with rendering. So I think it's been stuck in hell because it's a 20-minute video on a decent PC. I don't know if this is like, because we also don't know if this is a person doing this from like a laptop at Gamescom or if this got sent back to the US for them to work on it. I have no idea. That was I feel for the people because that's the kind of position I would be in. So I feel for the people who had to do that. But it does suck that it took them like 6 hours to get it out. But yeah. That was cool. That was awesome. I have no idea if anyone knew what that was about, but it's cool stuff. As you can tell by my background. Right now, I'm kind of very much into it. Very cool. And what's not mentioned in there, which no one cares about, my class in the game is getting a new like specialization, new variant, and I can play as a purpley void elf. So honestly, I'm just winning at the moment when it comes to World of Warcraft. Other games, however, not at all. I still need to finish Hades. I'm slowly running out of time to finish Hades. Because Hades 2 just had its what I think is its final update. What August? Was it July? July? So that's a month ago. So I probably not got long now. So that's a thing. But yeah, chat, I'm going to get out of here. I don't think I'm going to play WoW on stream now. I think I'm going to go get some food and chill. I really appreciate you coming along, especially when I'm doing these weird ad hoc, don't know what I'm doing, half fixed a tablet in the time streams. I'm hoping that by Tuesday, I'll think of something to play and we'll get back to the usual rhythm. I've just been really out of sorts with it. But I would really like to do it more. It's not streaming. My headspace is not quite there at the moment. What's for noms? Shit, I didn't put any rice on. Well, a little later. it'll be rice, some sticky rice, and literally just some chicken that I stripped off a full chicken that I bought, and some stir-fry veg with a bit of soy sauce and some spices. It was actually very simple. I made it last night. It's nothing special, but I put a bit too much salt in it. I will agree. But it was pretty good. It was pretty good. But yeah, I'm gonna we'll definitely play something on Tuesday. I don't know what we'll play yet. Actually, just let me check. I'm not doing anything. There is nothing that could possibly stop me from streaming next week, right? I don't think so. In theory, there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think 10 more streams without any interruptions. In theory. Who fucking knows? But in theory, that is entirely the point. There shouldn't be any other disruptions. I would really like to chew into something Wandering Village keeps coming back to my mind. I'm hoping I can get, maybe I can get out of this WoW funk slightly, right? Just to like, I'm really enjoying it, but I don't know how to stream it, right? So maybe we'll end up playing WoW, but I don't particularly want to because I don't know how to. And I don't play at a high level. So I'm not really doing anything interesting. Just like messing around. But I did like the whole like Blood Elf stuff. I like all that stuff. Playing on stream is fine. It is fine, but I'm not necessarily doing anything. Just chores. But yeah, we'll figure it out. I need to figure out like stuff because I'd like to, again, I would like to stream as regularly as I usually do and do the rest of it. And I'm actually at a point where I should be streaming more. So yeah, it's something to figure out. Lower your standards? Yeah. Yeah. No. The problem is with streaming with me is that what I want to be able to do, I cannot do because I have a full-time job and I require a full-time job. What I would like to do is like play through stuff for a day. That's what I want to be able to do because that's unrealistic. I can't just quit my job and not make any money. Actually, after I'm buying this house. Because that's how I like, because I'm such a person who gets like sucked in, and then if you pull me out again, I don't care. So like I want to be able to play a game all day, like really get stuck in, make really big progress, and then come back to it the next day, right? I can't do like 3-hour chunks of a big game. We just never get through it, that kind of stuff. But I should, I could also be doing a longer stream in the evenings, but I don't have any energy by that point. I'm just sat here quietly. Like I'd rather be active. So yeah, it's a catch-22 situation, but we'll definitely stream. I just have no idea what we're streaming. I need like Auction Not Included was fun the other week. Enshrouded is coming out with a new update, but I haven't made it to the other updates, so I don't even know if that's worth attempting. V Rising, I think, has been our most successful, like, consistent playthrough of anything. But I was also playing that off stream as well. So yeah, I don't know, chat. I appreciate you all. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, whatever you're doing. Go make sure you yourselves have food and drink and some rest and all the rest of it. And I wish you well until Thursday. Until Thursday? It is Thursday. Until Tuesday. Tuesday. When we'll do some stuff. Frostpunk 2 is getting its first DLC soon. Hey, that's really cool. I didn't realize it was getting DLC. Yet. I should say yet. Of course it's getting DLC. Yeah. I think that's it, chat. Yeah, take care. I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye-bye. It's getting 3 in total. That's awesome. Why was I was trying to use my mouse to go across to change my scene. I've not done that in years. Why did my brain stop working? Goodbye, chat. I'm going now.